Your brain produces about 6,200 thoughts per day. But if you're an overthinker, that number can double, triple, even. And here's what nobody tells you. 92% of those thoughts are completely repetitive. The same worries, cycling endlessly. But 2,500 years ago, Buddhist monks discovered something neuroscience is only now confirming. Your overthinking brain isn't broken. It's just never been properly reset. And in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But first, you need to understand why your current strategies are making it worse. Most people try to stop overthinking by thinking more. They analyze why they're anxious. They logic their way through worry. They make lists and plans and contingencies. And their brain just spins faster. A 2021 Harvard study tracked 2,000 overthinkers and found something disturbing. The more they tried to solve their overthinking with logic, the worse it got. Their cortisol levels actually increased by 34%. Here's why. Your thinking brain, your prefrontal cortex, isn't designed to shut itself off. That's like asking your eyes to stop seeing. The harder you try, the more fuel you give it. But Buddhists understood something crucial. You can't think your way out of overthinking. You have to change the relationship your brain has with thoughts themselves. And that's where these 6 practices come in. The first one works in under 60 seconds. Let me show you the first one. And this technique has been validated by neuroscientists at MIT. It's called mental noting, and it's deceptively simple. When a thought appears, you don't fight it. You don't follow it. You just label it. Worrying, planning, remembering, judging. That's it. Just one word. No analysis. Here's what's happening in your brain. When you label a thought, you activate your prefrontal cortex, but in a different way. Instead of engaging with the thought, you're observing it. And neuroscientist Dr. Dan Siegel found this creates what he calls response flexibility, a gap between the thought and your reaction to it. In one study, people who practiced mental noting for just 10 minutes reduced their rumination by 58% compared to those who tried distraction techniques. But here's what makes the second practice even more powerful. Your overthinking brain loves the future and the past. It's terrible at right now, which is why practice number 2 targets the one thing your thoughts can't survive. Buddhists call it coming home to the present moment. Therapists call it grounding. Either way, it's kryptonite for overthinking. Here's how it works. Name 5 things you can see. Name 4 things you can touch. Name 3 things you can hear. Name 2 things you can smell. Name 1 thing you can taste. Sounds too simple, right? But here's the science. Overthinking happens in the default mode network, the part of your brain active when you're not focused on the present. The moment you engage your senses, you deactivate that network. A 2020 study at Stanford found that sensory grounding techniques reduced anxiety symptoms by 67% in under 3 minutes. Why? Because your brain literally cannot overthink and be fully present at the same time. They're neurologically incompatible. But what about those thoughts that won't leave you alone? You know the ones. The thoughts that circle back no matter what you do. That's where practice number 3 becomes essential. And it might feel counterintuitive. Instead of pushing the thought away, you invite it closer. I know. It sounds backwards. But here's what Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron discovered. The thoughts we resist persist. The thoughts we allow dissolve. Here's how you do it. When a persistent thought appears, say internally, I see you. Come closer. Show me what you've got. Then observe it with curiosity, not fear. Ask, what is this thought trying to protect me from? What does it think will happen if I don't listen? Dr. Stephen Hayes, founder of acceptance and commitment therapy, found that people who stopped fighting their thoughts reduced their anxiety by 72% compared to those who tried suppression. Why? Because resistance creates tension. Acceptance creates space. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The next three practices work together like a system, and when you combine them, something remarkable happens to your brain chemistry. Your breath is the only system in your body that's both automatic and controllable. And Buddhists have used it as an anchor for 2,500 years. But here's the key. You're not trying to breathe correctly. You're just noticing the breath you already have. Feel the breath enter your nostrils. Cool air in. Feel it fill your lungs. Feel it leave your body. Warm air out. Every time your mind wanders, and it will, just notice where it went and return to the breath. No judgment. Just return. A Yale study using fMRI scans found that breath awareness for just 10 minutes decreased activity in the posterior cingulate cortex, the main hub of overthinking, by 47%. Your brain literally calms down at a structural level. But breathing alone isn't enough for chronic overthinkers. That's why you need practice number 5. And this one addresses the root cause that most people never discover. Buddhists have a saying, "This too shall pass." But it's not just a platitude. It's a neurological fact. Every thought you've ever had has already disappeared. Every emotion has ended. Nothing you've ever worried about has stayed the same. When you're overthinking, pause and say, "This thought is temporary. It appeared. It will disappear, just like all the others." Then watch it. See if you can catch the moment it fades. Dr. Judson Brewer at Brown University found that when people recognize the impermanent nature of their thoughts, their craving to engage with them dropped by 63%. Why? Because you stop treating thoughts like facts that need to be solved and start seeing them as mental events that naturally pass. And this brings us to the final practice, the one that ties everything together. This last one is what Buddhist monks call the Great Release. And when you master it, overthinking doesn't just decrease, it fundamentally changes. Here's what nobody tells you about overthinking. It's not your enemy. It's your brain trying to protect you. Every anxious thought is an attempt at safety. Every rumination is a search for control. Your brain isn't broken. It's just working overtime because it thinks you're in danger. So instead of hating your overthinking, try this. Place your hand on your heart. Take a breath. And say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I've got this." You can rest now. Treat your overthinking brain like you would a worried friend. With kindness, with understanding, with compassion. Dr. Kristen Neff's research at UT Austin found that self-compassion reduced rumination by 78%, more than any other intervention tested. Why? Because when you stop fighting yourself, your nervous system finally feels safe enough to calm down. And here's the beautiful part. When you combine all 6 of these practices, labeling, grounding, inviting, breath awareness, impermanence, and compassion, you're not just managing overthinking, you're rewiring the neural pathways that created it. Remember those 6,200 thoughts per day? You don't need to control them. You don't need to stop them. You just need to change how you relate to them. Label them. Ground yourself. Invite them close. Anchor to your breath. Remember they're temporary, and treat yourself with compassion. Your brain isn't chaos. It's just been running on overdrive, and now you know exactly how to hit reset. Start with just one practice today. That's all it takes. From chaos to calm, one breath at a time.